Hello everyone. It's 12:43 a.m. but I had to get up to tell you this revelation that came to me just now. I want to tell you today how to do the impossible. There's been these times where I've done the impossible. One that came to mind straight away was this soccer final, and I would have been about 12 years old. The scores were tied at the end of a game. You went to golden goal, where the next goal won the game. And we were down our end. We're kicking goals off the goal line. We were in trouble. But then my brother, who was on my team, made a run, escaped, got the ball to me, and another guy tripped me over from the other team. We were awarded a free kick. Now this free kick was ages away from the goal, just inside halfway. But for some reason in that moment I knew I was going to score the winning goal. I give a thumbs up. I remember that moment knowing this ball was going in, and well, it did. Now, years later, I remember setting the ball up in a similar position and trying to kick the ball into the goal, just before games and things. I could not kick the ball that far again. How does that happen? First of all, you've got to see it. You've got to see what could happen. When these things have happened, they flash into my mind. The beauty of what could happen in this moment. You don't have time to think. It just is given to you. These flashes of inspiration. Because the second thing with these impossible moments, you've only got that moment. You've got to seize that time, because the moment very quickly fades and it's gone. They don't come all that often, but they do come. It's not like you get one chance and that's it. Often these things will happen in your life, and whether or not you do the impossible, it comes down to whether you take that moment or whether you stop and you rationalize it and you realize, I actually can't do that. But the other thing that goes with this, tip number 3, don't overthink. There was this time at school, I was am a skinny kid, and one of the biggest, toughest kids was standing on the goal line with the ball, and he was celebrating the fact that he was about to score. No one else could stop him. Yet here I was off back to class, the bell had just gone. I turn around and I see this kid. I see myself tackling him. Silly idea. But I just go for it and clean him up. And he is flat on his back within a matter of seconds of that thought. And then I just walk off. He didn't get to score. Because I seized the moment. People were like, what? I was a quiet kid. But sometimes I would just come out with these things out of the blue. Impossible. With my house climbing video, so I walked around my house several times. Days previous to making that video, I had the idea, but I gave up on it because there were parts of that house I could not climb. Sheer wall. But I was out in the garden, just saw a part of the house that I could climb. Gave it a go. It was difficult, but I did it. And from that, I was able to then go forward and piece by piece get around that house. And that's tip number 4. Don't look at the whole impossible thing ahead of you. Look at the first little step. Can you do that? And if so, just do that and see what happens. Tip number 5, feel the moment. You've got to see it, but you've also got to feel it. These things are emotional. When you're in the moment, you've got to be fully there. So there was one more tip, and that was for me praying about it. There was a guy called Jesus. There are historically recorded accounts of miracles, and by definition, that's what is naturally impossible. Yet here they are. You can believe that or not, but I've seen evidence in my life. It could be a secret ingredient, if you like. You've got to take it, and it's in that seizing the moment that you experience the impossible, even though when you stop and think about it later, your rational mind might say that is impossible, yet here it is. And one more bonus tip: in these moments you've got to be prepared. You know, the table climbing video, why did I do it? I was there, I saw that table, I looked it in the eye, and I knew at that moment that I could climb it. Now I might not have been able to climb it later, but I knew then. And so I made that video. Now, I was prepared for that moment. I was in shape. I was able to lift my body weight. Now, if I had not trained my muscles, I might have seen that moment there and not been able to achieve what I saw. Most of the time, you are not doing the impossible, but you are preparing to do so. You are getting in shape, you are training, you are practicing for whatever that thing is that will come, and you'll be ready. Doing the impossible looks like it comes out of the blue, but you've been waiting your whole life for that moment. I see it.